You are now watching Now That's TV.
Hey y'all, it's me, your girl Gigi Maguire, aka Miss Show Me the Money. Some might know me as your favorite stripper's favorite stripper. That's my old life. This is my new life. Pink Conversations, brought to you by Now That's TV. And we're about to get into a little razzle dazzle, a little spicy, a little sweet. And everything that we're gonna get into is everything but nice, period. Hi, Wana.
Hi, how are you?
Hey now. So Wana is here from V12 to curate our experience today. And it looked like you was over there shaking something up, girl. What you got?
So I got a sugar and spice.
A little sugar and spice. I like that, girl. Let me get that.
Tell me how is it?
It looks very good. Taste test, guys. This is giving.
Okay.
This is giving tropical vacation.
Okay.
This is giving. I need to be here in the ocean. The ocean waves while I'm bent over in these shoes on somebody's balcony. Okay, that's what this is giving. Thank you, girl. You got one for yourself?
Cheers.
Cheers. So today we have a special guest joining us per usual, right? Because everybody that comes to have a pink conversation with me is somebody special. But this person, I'm going to say one thing about him. He's from the Dirty Jersey, y'all. Can y'all please help me give a warm welcome to Mr. Ralph Pittman Jr. Hey, Mr. Pittman. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
How you feeling?
Amazing.
Thanks for joining me. Have a seat on my little pink couch.
Okay.
No, sit next to me, please. Let's get acquainted. Why do you want to sit over here? Of course, yeah.
Of course.
Okay, all right. I know you wouldn't. So this is Wana.
Hi.
What's up, Wana? How you
So I
doing?
got a little something special for you that you requested.
All right.
You requested a special bottle. You've actually put me on to something because as a highly experienced mixologist and an experienced curator, this is something that I've never heard of, this brand of rum.
Yes.
So what's the name of it?
Ron Zacapa.
Ron Zacapa. Can you bring us around, Wana?
So Ron Zacapa, that's like my classic. It's been aged for 23 years. It's amazing.
That's my favorite number.
Really?
I was born on the 23rd.
All right.
We'll be cheersing to.
Hey, we're going to cheers to life, to health, to success, and to anything wonderful.
Everything wonderful. I got a nice ring to it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Eyeballs. In the words of Joy DeJour, if you don't look somebody in the eyes when you cheers, then you're going to have a whole lot of bad sex, and I know you don't want that.
Oh, for real. Let's do it again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I like this.
Oh, you ain't finished yours all.
I mean, you know,
I'm gonna need another one.
sip in moderation.
But I can sip on.
I'm a lady. We sip in moderation.
Of course, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I can throw it back now if I really
I
want.
already know you can.
But we gonna sip this one in moderation.
I love what you drinking.
So this is your rum with a little pineapple juice.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Let me squeeze the lime in there so we know it's real.
Mm-hmm. I've had that before.
With pineapple?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should try it. It's good. It's very tropical. It's given island vacation.
All right.
Before you came over here, I said I feel like I should be bent over somebody's balcony.
Oh, word. That's the kind of energy you got on today, huh?
Yeah. Listening to the ocean wave.
Where would you be?
Oh.
What
And
country?
can you take this one? Ask me again.
So what country would you be in? Bent over.
Oh, where would I want to be bent over the balcony? Let's take it to St. Lucia.
St. Lucia?
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to bent over a balcony in St. Lucia. You ready to get into this?
Let's go. Let's do it.
I think you was born ready.
Of course.
Something tells me you from New Jersey. What part of Jersey you from?
New Brunswick.
New-
Don't even ring exit 9, baby. And if you don't know exactly where your exit is, then I don't know. I question it.
Yeah,
You know?
exit 9 off the New Jersey Turnpike for those of y'all who
Oh.
don't know what he's talking about. I'm a Philly girl myself, so I'm a exit 4, exit 6, depending on what area I'm trying to get to. But I know a little bit about that New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
I done been up and down that thing quite a few times in my day.
Oh, tell me about some of your stories.
Ah, man. I used to go all the way to Harlem to buy weed.
Oh, word?
Me and my friend, we used to drive all the way to Harlem to buy weed. And we wasn't even buying nothing big. We would buy like a quarter, like 7 grams. We would drive all the way to Harlem to buy 7 grams of sour.
Yo, why? They ain't had nothing in Philly?
I mean, they did, but the New York weed was better, and you know the guys was out there. We was really going for the men.
Oh, all right.
We was going to go pull up on the real one.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm telling you, it's best of breed. Jersey, New York, all that.
Yeah, the whole, you know, that whole little area.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Whole tri-state.
Period.
Yeah.
So, Ralph, we know you from
Real housewife.
Real Housewives of Atlanta. Look, take sip. So let's get into that. You are a Real House husband. Well, currently going through a divorce, but you started as a Real House husband.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this, your third season?
I think fourth.
Fourth
right?
season.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you first started, of course, it's your soon-to-be ex-wife. How do we refer to her? Your ex-wife, your
Estranged wife.
estranged wife. Okay, I just wanted to have the most respectable verbiage.
Yeah.
We want to stay respectful.
Of course.
So your soon-to-be ex-wife, your estranged wife, sorry, is the wrong.
They're from it though, right?
We do already.
That's a compliment.
So when the phone call came in, of course, it came into her as to be a housewife. But there is no housewife without a house husband. So what was this conversation like, and what was the decision-making process like for you guys to join the cast of Housewives of Atlanta?
They called, actually. She called me and told me about it a couple of times. I said no every single time. They was doing interviews and everything. I ain't want no parts of it because I already know and see how, you know, they do the men. You know, it's just kind of crazy, you know, that dynamic. So I ain't want no parts of it initially. And then she told me exactly how much she would actually be making on the show, you know? And I mean, of course, she was an actress, so therefore she had like a particular rate card. So when she told me the number, I was like, all right, that can make sense, right? That can make sense, you know? And of course, she was coming from basically, you know what I'm saying, being a stay-at-home mom. She just had our kids and everything like that. So I know that she wanted to get back into acting. So the industry changed. So I was like, all right, cool, let's go with it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the number was the number. Once everything was said and done, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I got set up. It was kind of crazy, yeah.
You got set up.
Yeah, because, you know what I'm saying? If you think about it, right? Everything costs money. You know what I'm saying? Show business costs money, you know?
Yeah.
And so in order to get started, matter of fact, let me say this, right? How they get started, how they do it is, you know, before they know if they want you or not, typically you got to show them that you can do something. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to
show your work.
Exactly, right? We ended up relocating to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, from Chicago. I went and got the house and everything like that. So it's like a lot of stuff that went into it. Then we started the filming, you know, then the contract came. The contract was just crazy, you know? It was crazy.
The Death Row Records contract?
Well, probably worse. It was worse. But I was already too committed, you know?
I mean, you moved here.
I'm like, now I got to make my money back, you know what I'm saying? So I invested in all this stuff. I put it up, you know what I'm saying? Hairstylists, clothes, everything, house, everything, you know what I'm saying? So that junk, you know, it costs money to go and live that life.
In hindsight, was it worth it?
No.
Damn. Not at all?
Not at all.
Is it because of what you're going through right now?
I would say largely, yeah. Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, going through a process like that, you got to be connected. You got to be locked in because you got to play the long game. Because if you don't play the long game, then, you know what I'm saying, everything is for naught. Everything blows up.
So what's the biggest differences or, I guess, hurdles that you're facing filming this current season that you didn't face before when everything was all good? Like now that you're going through a divorce and you're in the basement, and like how has that made filming different?
Yo, you want to hear something crazy?
Yes, I do.
Life has been peaceful, you know? It has been the best experience for me.
You being in the basement?
Word is bond, everything, you know? I think, you know what I'm saying, you got to make lemons out of lemonade, you know what I'm saying?
You
get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to make lemons, of course. You got to make it, you know what I'm saying? You got to turn your lemons into lemonade. And I believe that by doing so, it actually like changed everything around. It changed my perspective, my relationship with my kid. You start to really smell the roses because I think that's been my problem for a minute, you know? Like when you going through and you grinding, a lot of the times you just got your head down, especially as men. You know what I'm saying? You got your head down, you're just providing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden something like this happens, it shakes you up. So you got to go and figure things out and be like, all right, cool. Let me pivot this way. Let me go and think about the things that I'm actually happy for and I appreciate. So that's been amazing there. And also filming has been completely different because I get to do my own thing a little bit. People get to see like a little bit of my own personality. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm with the kids. I don't know if they're going to show it or not.
Okay.
But, you know, it's been like, amazing because I don't gotta live behind this facade.
On the facade.
It's the facade, you know?
Yeah. So you're breaking free from the facade and doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So how long has the separation been?
2 years, 2+.
Ooh.
2+.
And you're in the basement.
Yeah.
Why are you in the basement, sir?
You know what? Real talk is because Drew and her attorney actually tried to set me up. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to get me kicked out and have me pay for the house too. You know what I'm saying? So it was like this whole entire thing. And so what the judge did was actually smart. You know, she was just like, listen, opposed to me kicking you out and having you pay for everything, I'm gonna just put you in the basement. You got your own exit. My basement, 4,000 square feet.
Huh.
I gotta pay for the house anyway. You know, so it is a house. It's bigger than most people's homes. You know what I'm saying? So, and I got everything. I got the movie theater down there. It's like I got the ultimate man
cave.
It's the ultimate man cave.
With your own entrance, kitchen, everything.
Podcast room, like studio.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing everything.
Everything, the bar. So I got it all, and it was just but the most important part was it allowed me to really be there and locked in with my kids.
Children.
Because that's most important to me. That's
all
my heart.
process.
Like, without my kids, all of this means nothing. Because if I didn't have my kids, I would have been gone.
So speaking of you being a family man and an exceptional father,
Yeah.
People see you on TV as one way. So let's go into perception versus reality. What do the people or how do the people perceive you as versus how you are in real life?
Let me drink to that real quick.
Because when we first met, the first time we met, we sat and had a conversation.
Yeah.
And we had this conversation of how, on a personal level,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I see you on TV and then you're this guy. So explain to the people.
Tell me what you think of me. Matter of fact, the TV version of me. What did you
So
see?
the TV version of you was very reserved, very much kind of in your wife's shadow, and not in a bad way, but on the platform that you're on, it's really about her.
So, yeah.
And you kind of come secondary even to the kids from what we see. But you're that guy. You're talented. You're smart. You're easy to talk to type of person.
I appreciate
But that's just my assessment.
Yeah.
Perception versus reality. The people perceive you as one way, but in real life, you are what?
Nah, real talk. I think also people will see me. It's really, I'm going to say this, right? It's a game on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I think in reality, in real life, I am everything as you say. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I like to have fun. I think that the fans never really got an opportunity to really see who I am, and even who we really are in real life. Because if people seeing us and our dynamic of who we are, they would be like, cool, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like their energy. They like to have fun. We get into our issues and stuff like that. Of course, I'm from up top. You know what I'm saying? I'm pragmatic. I'm an alpha man. You know what I'm saying? So it's differences, that I got to go through. But Drew plays a game on TV, though. You know what I'm saying? So she plays a damsel in distress card. And it's amazing for her because, it's a role. It's a character. And she does it so well because she's an actress that everything goes. Like, she can go and she could throw a rock, hide her hand, and then cry about it. That junk is so. For a while, I could never really talk about it. Now I can, of course, because we're going through our situation. But that's the game that she plays. You know what I'm saying? So it works for her.
So is it a gift and a curse being married to an actress?
I wouldn't say it's a. As long as the actress knows when it's time to act and when it's time when the cameras are off, you know what I'm saying?
So the cameras are off and she's still in actress mode.
Nah, you know what the crazy thing is when the cameras are off, she's actually back to her normal self.
So it's when the cameras are on.
When them cameras are on, I'd be like, why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? They make me look crazy. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, well, that's my inspiration. So it's kind of crazy and it's hard for me to navigate that because I'm not an actress. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
I don't know how to go and navigate the different things. I'm just who I am. So if you say something crazy to me or you say something that makes me question it or something cat, then I'm gonna be like, that's not true. And then I'm gonna come at you about it. I'm gonna ask you about it. Go.
Good way to segue into my thoughts on your wife.
Go ahead.
Take a sip. No shade, true tea. I'm a fan. I'm a huge Housewives fan of the entire franchise.
Yeah.
With Atlanta being my favorite because clearly this is where we live, right? And I was a fan because, she's Drew Sidora, the game and all of that, right? But watching her on Housewives, it's a lot of cap in her rap. Like, she get caught up with the lies and, she got a way of, saying things that's not true but trying to make it seem like it's true. And I don't like that about her.
Yeah, I know we talk about that a lot.
That's just, I don't know. I mean, that's just my assessment. And, you know, I'm kind of disappointed. There's another housewife on another franchise that I feel the same way about. And then she's also a Black woman, and I kind of feel bad that these are my thoughts. But everybody's entitled to their opinion, and it's really based on the assessment that I have from watching her. So do you feel like she be lying? Or do you know that she be lying because it's your wife?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Like, how do you navigate that when, like, you know, and it's like, bitch, that ain't right. Like, do you call her out on that or what?
that's why I get in trouble all the time.
Okay.
That's why I look crazy on TV, because I call it out, because, you know, I think I'm brutally honest, though. You know, I think that's my problem as well. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Sometimes I believe that people like being lied to. And I think that people love to lie as well. It's crazy, though. But for me, I'm brutally honest. I love somebody that's just 1,000 with me. Yo, keep it a buck, because that's keep it a buck.
I think that's an up north thing.
It is. It is an up north thing. So I don't understand why people do it any other kind of way. Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna get to the same outcome anyway. Like, I'd rather find out and you tell me exactly what it really is, opposed to you try to go and bullshit me.
Okay.
Because if you bullshit me, we'll have a bigger problem.
Speaking of keeping it buck, how you making money?
Yo, that's a damn. I love it. I love it. But I can answer that question.
I mean, the world wants to know.
So, real talk, though. So,
Because we don't know for real.
top though. So I went to Rutgers University. I studied business economics there. You know, graduated, got my degree. After that, I ended up going into real talk. I went into more so like business consulting, IT consulting, you know, and then from there went into IT sales. And so it's always been about tech, right? Everything with me has been in tech. So it's more so where I make my money is really in that tech world, you know? So it's, you know, really making sure I work with Fortune 100 companies, helping them with different solutions, IoT, AI, Gen AI, you know, things of that nature. So it really is the things that really turn the world. Like, where we're going, that's where I'm focused on in business. That's where I really focus.
And that's your lane that you...
That's a major lane, but also I'm in real estate. I do music, you know what I'm saying?
That I do know.
I got a lot of other areas that I go and make money in as well. So, but my main area, that's
The main calling comes from
technology.
Juana, hey girl. Are you a fan of The Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I'm not.
You not?
I watched the old
Back in the day.
I was younger. But
So you know nothing about Juicidor? You know Juicidor from the game?
yes, I used to watch the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if you had any insight on what we was just talking about. You know, I'm trying to include you in the conversation or whatever.
I mean, y'all was talking about a lot. So which part?
Well, I wanted to ask if you were a fan of the show. Did you ever question where he made his money from? Because it's never a topic. Like, everybody want to know. Like, you living in 4,000 square feet in the basement. Just the basement alone. So the house got to be a good, at least 8.
Nah, it's 10,000.
See, what I'm talking about? 10,000
It's
400 square feet. You got to be making some coin, my baby.
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it. I do my thing. But the reality of it is it is what it is. You know, this wasn't my show. This is not my platform. So, you know what I'm saying? So I really didn't even care. I was like, hey, the world can think whatever they want to think. As long as she wins, I was good. That was my mindset, you know? Because if she wins, I win. You know?
That's a good man, Savannah. You want your wife to win.
When things blow up,
Woo!
you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
So you have a podcast.
Yes.
Ralph in the Basement is your podcast. Why would we choose that name? Because this is Ralph in the Basement.
Yeah, because
You're filming the podcast in the basement.
I film it in the basement. I do everything.
Living in the basement, you filming it. Are you fucking in the basement?
Nah, man. You don't go through a divorce, man, you know?
Not, you know she got to leave the house every once in a while. You don't be fucking with she going.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? I keep it respectful.
Damn, you're a good man, Savannah.
No, I do. I keep everything got to be respectful anyway. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, technically in Georgia, you are still married until you're divorced.
Okay.
In Jersey, the laws is different, you know?
Okay.
But here, this is how it works. So, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I keep it at the end of the day, this is how I think about it, right? And that's why I also am like, hey, this is an amazing situation because I take myself out of it. This house, my house, although, you know what I'm saying, of course I paid for it, but it's not my house. It's not her house. It's the kid's house.
It is.
You know?
So what's the fate of this house?
What's the fate of it?
Yeah. It's like when the divorce is final and you come up out of the basement, does she keep the house for the kids? Do you guys sell the house and split? Does she move on? Like how, or have you even talked about that yet?
I mean, yeah, we talked about it. I think this is what I would say, right? Because the thing is I think this is how it comes down, right? my kids love the house. Matter of fact, we just had spring break. I was like, where y'all want to go?
Nowhere.
They was like, I want to stay at home. I want to stay home.
That's not happening.
They love their house so much to the point that I'm like, it'd be stupid for me to let this house go. So if she was able to take the house, then I'll be like, all right, Coy, you could take the house. But she can't, you know what I'm saying? And because she can't, I'm like, I'm going to just take the house and keep the house because it makes sense.
For the kids.
And also, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I bought the house at the perfect time.
So
Because
keeping the house for the kids and then she got to go, like, what's happening?
it's not about that. It's about making sure that the kids are good.
Okay.
You know, because this is the thing, right? I think my logic is this, right? I would rather keep the house, you know, in the family to make sure that the kids have access to it. Because what's the point? Because if you leave, now you got to find another place.
Starting over.
And you're going to get less. I bought my house, and this is real talk, right? I bought my house during a pandemic, so my interest rate is crazy low. I got that
10-4.
got that 3%.
On the 10-4.
They don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, church at a 3%. So if you know what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense. You should never let something go when it's that much. You're gonna actually lose a lot of money. Matter of fact, if I went and bought something else, I actually would lose money on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would get probably like I got 10-4 right now, and I'll probably get 6 for the same price.
Nah, we ain't.
It doesn't even make sense. But if she could take it, you know what I'm saying, then I'll be like, yo, you got it.
So, Ralph in the Basement, the podcast. What's it about?
You know, so it's really started off with, you know, going through my process, because basically going into that concept of making lemonade out of lemons, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, I'm going through this situation. What other men are going through the same concept or whatever, you know? Like, because we all go through it. A lot of men get their asses whooped during divorce. They don't know what to do. We typically are down. We always lose for the most part. And so it's like, now that I went through it, but let me tell you who wins. Who do you think wins?
The lawyers.
The lawyers. That's who wins. So it's a game that you got to understand how to really play. And so, you know what I'm saying? I had to go through the journey. Now I got an amazing attorney, you know what I'm saying?
How long ago did y'all get
Precious, huh?
How long ago did y'all get married?
10, well, it's now been technically 10 years.
Was there a prenup?
No.
Do you regret that?
Yes, because I think, being real with you, like initially I didn't really think about it or didn't really care about it too much, because I thought, you know, everything was forever. But the only reason I probably would have said a prenup is because it just would have made things easy. I believe that, and this is what I would say, right? From what she's talked to me about, allegedly, you know, her attorney actually does things a little different. And what happens is, even for me, I even saw it myself. You don't know exactly what is real and what's not real unless you really understand the facts. And if you've never been through a divorce, you can't be like, yo, this is true what you're saying. This is how the process goes, and this is not. You don't know. So you don't know what you don't know. And because of that, it makes it hard to understand what the truth is. And so with that being the case, things would have went a lot faster. Like, for instance, I wouldn't be here talking about no 2.5, 2+ year divorce, because she would be like, yo, I understand exactly what game is. I understand how this process goes. She'll understand the decisions she needs to make. And of course, for me, I understand it, I'm like, oh, yo, this is game right here. This is cap. This is where she's trying to play you. I would understand those kind of things.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, then you don't know.
So let's switch gears.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You got to see that.
Allegedly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just sue here,
So recently, on your podcast, you said a little something crazy.
What? What part?
You said a few things crazy. Something a little controversial about vasectomies. Let's dig into that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I said, I believe that people I think that men should have vasectomies. I'm an advocate for it. You know why?
I would love to know why.
Tell me this, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to ask you a question, right? Because you're in a business, you don't understand exactly what it is. I would say this, right? How many women do you know personally that is trap dudes?
A few.
A few or a lot?
Trap with a baby?
Yeah.
A few.
Is it a few or like 10, 20, 50?
I don't know about that.
100?
I don't know about that.
1,000?
I don't know about that.
Yo, Gigi, give it a buck.
Let's just say maybe 10.
10? That's all? I know you got more than that. Come on.
Listen, I know 10 women personally that has trapped a man with a baby.
All right. So listen to this, right? I think one of the things is, and I think it's very responsible. So I think this conversation really comes down to different classes, right? Because if so they say,
Because what you spoke on,
yeah,
the average man just can't do.
yeah,
He has to be financially able. So we're talking about a man of a certain tier, of a certain tax bracket when we speak on what we about.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Okay.
This is
Let's be clear.
this is a tax bracket conversation,
Let's be
right?
clear.
But there's different conversations at the different tax brackets that we're
Levels,
at.
yes.
There's levels to this.
Mhm.
I would say if you're a ball player, and we know a lot of them, right? That's gotten trapped. Matter of fact, as of recent, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you get trapped all of a sudden, and this is the thing. It's not about like a man going and having a vasectomy so he can go around and sow his royal oats everywhere.
Yeah, let's get to the point so the viewers know exactly where we're going with it.
So it's really about a man. Because think about it, right? Women, y'all have birth control. Y'all can go and do things to control y'all body to make sure that certain outcomes don't actually hit y'all. For men, we don't have nothing. We got.
Well, y'all can pull out. Y'all can be responsible.
Come on, but
Y'all can be responsible and pull out.
That's it.
You can use a condom.
That's like somebody shooting a free throw. Who do you know that got a real strong pullout game? You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not made the same. Everybody don't know that.
Condom.
You can use a condom. All right, I got a question.
Condoms break.
I got a question for you though. Let's go and take it a little step further, right? All right, you, Gigi, right? Beautiful woman, you in a relationship. Everything going great. You know what I'm saying? Show you the my chart. You know what I'm saying? That's the next step, right? Show me your my chart. Let me make sure that you're clean. How soon does it take for you to take the condom off? Just keep it a buck.
I mean, I've been known to have unprotected sex on the first date.
Oh,
I did that, and he proposed 3 days later.
hey, all right. Amazing story.
Yeah, I did.
But what if he
That's publicly known.
So he shut up the club. Y'all going raw. Now you pregnant. What happened?
Well, I didn't get pregnant, thank God.
Didn't, because
That ended in 60 days. But,
exactly. But what if you did get pregnant?
well, we'd have a baby now.
Uh-huh.
Or I would have went and laid on the table. There would have been a conversation about it.
It would have been a
I
conversation.
probably would have laid on the table because baby, please.
Yeah, that's for you, but that's your concept.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that, and listen to this, right? I believe, and I'm all for people that's pro-choice. You know what I'm saying? Pro-life. I'm
Your choice is your choice.
your choice, your choice, your body is your body.
Yes.
And so I respect both, but at the same time, if you have a baby, I don't care what level or what tax bracket you're at, it's disruptive to your life. You know what I'm saying? To the point that you sometimes can't recover. I know so many dudes that have gotten into situations where they was in high school, getting ready to go to college, full ride, all of a sudden got somebody pregnant, changed their course. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so again, let's run it back because
Go
we
ahead.
can't fully get out the statement. So the statement is that a man of a certain caliber or in a certain tax bracket, let's say, he should get a vasectomy. He should freeze his sperm
Yeah,
and get a vasectomy so that he can be out here shooting blanks
Yeah.
and not getting females pregnant while enjoying his sexual escapade.
I wouldn't say that.
But if he wants to have a baby,
Uh-huh.
then he can then go to the sperm bank or go to the freezer and get those sperm cells that he froze, and he can go ahead and get the woman of his choice pregnant.
It's all about
That's kind of what you said, right?
Well, I think I would say it like this, right? It's all about everyone being able to make the decisions that's healthy because, I know it's a lot of dudes that you mess with. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you mess with a lot of dudes, but,
I
I
got a boyfriend, thank you.
I that's good. But I'm saying though, at the end of the day, I believe that you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that you probably dating or whatever the case may be, you wouldn't want to have a baby.
Hell no.
Exactly. So what it
Jesus
does
Christ.
is it helps everyone, really, truly. It's equal opportunity. Now it allows a man, and that actually allows both people to actually make a conscious
To make the decision.
Hey, you know what? I'm ready to have a baby and I want to have a baby with you. And now y'all get to go and have that decision and that conversation opposed to, oops. Matter of fact, let's take it to other instances. You know, a lot of older people also mess around and get pregnant also that's married. So it's not a thing of you being single and like going around and messing with a whole bunch of women.
Because that's what it feel like. It feels like we want to just fuck everything moving and shoot like
the reality of it
everybody
is, I had a
pregnant.
vasectomy, but think about it though.
So you did have a vasectomy.
Hell, what? I couldn't be an advocate for vasectomies if I haven't had.
That's connected to that
Man,
man.
president here, like.
Did it hurt?
Think about it.
What was the recovery?
Say you got to get the peas in the bag. It's kind of corny at first, but the amazing part is, like, let me tell you, as a man, the thing about it is that if you have somebody, you have a partner, or you know that you shot up the club or whatever like that, regardless, even if you're in a relationship, you always like, yo, oh man, she might be pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Or but it's a waiting game. Yo, did you get your period? Did you get your period?
Still wait.
All of a sudden, but let me tell you right now, it's so
Did you get this vasectomy?
amazing because I don't care.
Did you get this vasectomy after?
Married? I didn't care.
You got it as married?
Yeah, I got it after I had my daughter.
After.
After I had my daughter.
Did you freeze some of your babies?
I
Did you
just
freeze any swimmers?
I didn't do it because I know I can get it reversed. So it's gonna cost me $10,000
To reverse it. So if you decide to marry again and your wife wants to have children, you're going to reverse your life.
I don't think I'm having no more kids though. But if I wanted to,
You could.
I could do it.
It's
Easy.
an option.
Easy.
Wanda, what's your thoughts? I low-key feel them a little bit.
A little bit. Come on, girl.
Seriously, because most children that are made is either a mistake or,
Especially
it's
our
really
community.
not a agreement, like let's become parents. So I agree with you. But
See, there we go. That's not something. Yo,
Cheers.
don't say that.
cheers, Wanda.
So you feel me, Gigi?
I feel you.
You do?
So you out here shooting up the club with
I didn't say that.
blanks.
Oh yeah, right now I am. Yeah. And it's amazing.
So you're not shooting up the club in the basement, but you are shooting up somebody's club.
Nah, I ain't doing nothing.
Yes, you are. Take a sip. You're
Yo,
not dating.
No.
Or you dating?
I did my divorce. Everything is.
So while you're going through this divorce, in the 2 years that you've been going through this divorce, you're not dating.
I'm chilling. I've been on some dates though.
Okay, I'm about to say I don't believe you.
I've been on some dates because you have to, like going through this thing, I thought this divorce would have probably been done like 8 months in. It just keeps going on. Because people play stupid games, you know what I'm saying?
When you play stupid games,
You know what I'm saying?
prizes.
Yo, that's my saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And if you play stupid games, hey, guess what? Especially, just don't lose, especially with me.
So the women that you're dating, you're completely honest with them about your marital status. And I mean, you kind of have to be because you're a public figure. We see it on TV.
Like, I can't hide nothing.
You really can't.
Real talk, the first time I sit down with you, I'm like, yo, look, let me tell you what it is. Because you already know. You're going to just Google me if you don't know who I am already. So I'll let you know. First and foremost, I already told you already right from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm solid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let you know. I'd rather be honest than anything else because there's no point in playing games. And I'm not going to have nobody come to me and be like, yo, Ralph, you need to tell me this. For what?
So going back to your estranged wife.
All right.
Since you're not really dating right now, let's take it back to Drew. How did you know that she was the one?
You know what, man? So, you taking it way back. So I was in a state of readiness, being real with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready for a wife at that time.
Yes,
And
I'm with you. Because men have to be ready.
I think all men go through a state of readiness.
Women pressure men.
Sometimes.
A lot of times.
A lot.
Women have this clock that are always ticking.
Facts.
Okay, we've been dating this long. We've been together this long. Now it's time. Like, women are more on a schedule when it comes to like dating and engagement and children and marriage and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Versus men, they kind of need to be ready. So you knew that you were ready.
Yeah, I was. And I mean, it goes in cycles, right? I could be ready, and my window is probably like 10 days. I need to find a wife in that 10 days, and then I go back to just being out in the street. That's how it goes.
What's his
sometimes,
Ron Chicapa.
Ron is like copper, baby. I didn't endorse me, by the way, Ron.
What? It has like this maple, like this sweet, I guess it's the sugar cane, but it has like this maple syrup sweet kind of smell before you actually taste it.
It's amazing. And you can drink it straight. You ain't gonna chase it with nothing, right? Look.
Yeah.
You're feeling amazing.
But I'm sorry.
But
how did you know that Drew was the one?
Nah, so seriously, I was in a state of readiness, and when I met her, she like fit we had a lot of fun. But I was going through like a little quarter life crisis. That's what I call it. Right? I was going through my little quarter life crisis. And when we met each other, it was like we were inseparable. We had like a 12-hour date. It was amazing.
A 12-hour date?
12-hour date.
Walk me through this 12 hours.
And man, well, you know what I'm saying? I did it intentionally. Word is born, I didn't.
But you could have?
I could have, of course. But I didn't. You know why? Because the last one I hit on the first date, she never talked to me again because it felt bad. I felt like she was wiping my
tears. Did she feel bad or did you do bad?
No, I don't do. Come on.
Wanda?
Look at me. Do I look like I do bad?
Wanda?
I know exactly what I do.
If you have sex with a man on the first date, Why would you never call him again? Because it was terrible.
Yeah,
it was.
Bullshit.
You were little.
That's not my problem either. Hey, let me tell you something. With my situation, nah. Real talk, I would say this, right? You got a different type of women now. If you over here just getting knocked down, having fun, then that's one thing. But if you somebody that feel like you a wife, if you let somebody hit on the first date, typically that's a red flag for a lot of women. They be like, yo, man, because you're not going to wife somebody after you hit the first night.
Yes, he did.
It's like that's you and your situation. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you wild, yo. Yo, you wild. But yo, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is. The girl that I had hit on the first night, you know what I'm saying? She was on that kind of level. She wanted to be wife. She looked at herself as a wife.
So she felt like ashamed that she did.
Yeah, and so Drew told me the same thing also. She was like, Ralph, I'm telling you, you know, if you would have did it on the first night, then I wouldn't talk to you.
Okay, so rewind me back to this 12-hour date.
All right, cool. So I went and took her to this restaurant, really nice restaurant in the hills in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And she came out and we just talked. We had a lot of things in common. We talked about music, you know what I'm saying? We talked about church. We just was able to just vibe out. I took us to the house, you know what I'm saying? We had some fun, you know what I'm saying? It was amazing. It was. But we didn't do any, I didn't hit. Real talk.
But was there any intimacy at all?
Of course, all of that.
Okay.
All of that. But, you know what I'm saying? I was respectful, you know what I'm saying? And I really wanted to really just get a sense of who she was and, you know what I'm saying, really be able to vibe out with her because I felt like I saw something in her that was different and is more meaningful. Also, even for me, if I ain't on the first night, then this might be a number for me, you know what I'm saying? So it just depends. Sometimes you get wife, it depends. You throw that thing on them, you know what I'm saying? That's what you did, Gigi.
I mean,
And the relationship still didn't last.
I ended it though.
It don't matter.
He proposed,
Oh, you ended it?
but I ended it with
So that don't matter though.
whatever. Would you get married again?
I
You said you don't want no more kids, but would you?
don't know, man. Going through this divorce, it's a hard process. I don't know. I
So
don't
it's up
know.
in the air.
It's in the air because yo, I feel like marriage is not really meant for men. You know what I'm saying? We losing this thing too. It's just it costs way too much money to get married. And it's very hard to get out. I think if I were to get married, I want the rules rewritten. You know what I'm saying? I want all the rules rewritten. I want to do something different. Like, yo, all right, this is how I think marriage should work. I think this is, if I had the perfect world, this is...
This is my cards. Can you see my cards?
Nah, I can't. That's where you was going?
Nah.
I can't, I promise you. But I'm intuitive, you know, so I'm smart. Hey, at the end of the day, this is why I would say how marriage should actually work. I think that, you know, you should be able to get married for a certain amount of time. It shouldn't be like, yo, you get married today and you lose everything if it don't work out. I think there should be some evaluation periods. Like, hey, look, it should be milestones, 1 year, 2 year, and I think
You should reevaluate.
you should reevaluate every
marriage.
Because guess what, yo,
Renew the vows.
let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you the craziest thing about marriage. And I married really fast, right? I married in 3 months. I proposed in 3 months. My marriage went really quick, right? So when I said that she was the one, that 12-hour date meant something to me. And I was like, yo,
Really?
I locked in.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? 3 months, you know, I proposed. I married in 5 on the beach in L.A. My boy, Pastor Tom, married us. You know what I'm saying?
In the sand?
Huh?
Were you barefoot in the sand?
Word is born, I was.
I want to get married barefoot.
I was. You know, I got
my
no
boyfriend all the time.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh,
Get married. Word.
So it's dope. It's amazing. 8 months, she was pregnant with Makai. And the crazy thing is when she got pregnant with Makai, mind you, talking about this vasectomy thing or whatever, of course, I wouldn't have gotten a vasectomy at that point, but it would have worked for me, right?
Mhm.
Because she got pregnant 8 months with Makai, and I was happy, like, oh my God, first time. You know what I'm saying? I was actually happy to impregnate a woman. But I'm happy, and she's crying, like, my career.
Oh.
And so
How did that make you feel?
it made me feel terrible because I was like, well, at least we're doing it right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go and do the shotgun marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it made me feel terrible. I was like, yo, this is weird. You know, I always thought that in my mind as a man, I always thought that the day that, matter of fact, let me say it this way. The ideal day that I would actually propose and be married, and then we find out that she's pregnant would be an amazing day of celebration. We up here running around, taking shots, having fun. Like,
Not
no.
taking shots when you found out she pregnant.
Well, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you get it though. But at the end of the day, I think it's a day of rejoice.
Right, but she
Not a day, but she cried. And I understand now. Well, of course, I understood. It took me a while to understand because she thought about her career as a, and I didn't know this, right? For me, I make money regardless. I don't care what it is. Day, night, sleep, hell, fat, skinny. You know what I'm saying? I'm making money always.
There's a role she can't play with a belt.
She can't play because she's cast typed, right? She plays the.
Who calling you?
I don't know.
Let me see.
She plays so. Oh, actually, pretty enough.
Can we say it?
Whatever, go ahead.
It was the wife, y'all. It was Drew calling.
The strange wife.
The estranged wife was called Elizabeth. She said, nigga, is you in the basement?
No. It's telepathy. She heard me. I know you're talking.
I know something about me, nigga.
But I wasn't planning on talking about her.
Oh, all right. Blame it on me.
But this was a positive part of the conversation, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, when she got pregnant, I believe that it was supposed to be that way. And then all of a sudden, the cast type aspect of it, she can't work no more. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I got a question real quick.
Go.
Sidebar. Has she always been saved in your phone as Drew Sadora?
Nah.
That's since the divorce.
She's the wife.
Petty.
It's not petty.
I would have been petty like that too, though.
Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? You kind of go back to your.
I do shit like that too.
Her name is really Drew Jordan.
Mm-hmm. That's her.
Sadora is her middle name.
Drew Sadora Jordan.
Yeah.
Is her maiden name.
Yeah.
Did she ever take your last name?
Yeah, she
Like
did.
legally?
Yeah, legally.
But as an actress.
She has no last
Right
name.
now.
Yeah, she has no last name, of course.
And as far as the government is concerned. But as far as her acting career is concerned, she's still Drew Sadora.
Of course, and she's always going to be a Drew Sadora. That was the dope part about it. She never had to make any changes to her stage name. She was always going to be Drew Sadora. But people think that that's her last name. It's not.
So I wanted to touch on this while we were talking. We kind of got off track or whatever, but we were talking about marriage and if you would do it again.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole thing about marriage. And I feel like humans are terrible at monogamy simply because it's not natural. You know, it's a choice. People get married and they choose to, people fall in love and they choose to be monogamous. People feel like love and monogamy come one hand in hand, but it really does not. You know, and the divorce rate is so high, and that just proves that humans are terrible at monogamy. You know, you're committed, people are committed to monogamy, but not the person. You know, they love as humans, right? They love. They love. And as humans, we fall in love and we think that monogamy comes along with it, but it really does not. You have to choose to be, well, it's just like choosing to be vegan, right? You can choose to be vegan and not eat meat. But that don't mean that bacon don't smell good.
Right. I agree.
Right? So, like, how important is monogamy to you?
That's a good question. I mean, monogamy it is what it is. You know, I think it's important. I feel like more importantly, you need to be locked in with the person that you're with. And I think that's what means more, especially in a marriage. Like, you got to be locked all the way in, you know? If you decide to go and bring in somebody else or even have a situation like Neo, you know what I'm saying? Like when boy there.
Shout out to Neo.
Yeah, shout out to Neo. If you want to go and do that, then it's the same kind of concept. It's like, hey, look, this is the lifestyle we want to have. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Monogamy is a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. And I think that, going back to what I was saying earlier, like, if you're going to change and you're going to shift around or whatever, because who you are today may not be who you are tomorrow.
Because we grow and evolve.
We grow and evolve, right? So if you grow and evolve into somebody else or somebody different, then that's a conversation that you need to have to say, yo, this is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? This is what I need. This is what I want. And then you go there and you got to just make sure your partner's cool with it. And if it's not, then you make a decision and you go the other way. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly feel like honesty is the best policy.
1,000.
Why do people feel like
Keep it a buck.
can't keep it a buck?
Keep it a buck.
Why do you think that people feel like they can't be true and honest?
Yo, real talk. I just had actually talked about this on my podcast, right? I was like, it's called Liar Liar.
Liar.
Yo, it's Liar Liar. I think it's two things, right? You got somebody, typically they want to save face, right? They want to show up in the world as one thing, and they've created themselves to say, all right, this is my persona, this is who I am, this is my image, right? I don't want to take my image, and so therefore they're going to do everything to protect that, you know? But there's circumstances that come in that actually may make them sway. Like if you have somebody that come to your house and they try to steal something, now think about it. Is it the reason that they stole something is because they needed it, because they were hard up. You know what I'm saying? They stole some money from you. I'm sure that you had somebody go and do some bogus junk to you. Was it because they needed something and they actually were in a time of need and desperation? They didn't want to tell you, hey, look, I'm hard up, so I'm gonna just go and try to take it and make sure, hopefully, you don't sell it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, do I be truthful and tell you exactly what it is and keep it a buck? I think it's harder for people to keep it a buck than it is to actually be real. And that's my big problem with people that lie. Like, yo, just keep it a buck. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is, and people going to think what they want to think. I think that being authentic is the best thing. Be who you are, and who's going to rock with you is going to rock with you, because they're not going to rock with you anyway, regardless, once they find out who you really are, regardless. So, I mean, just keep it a buck.
So I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Word up.
I am a very honest person. I'm very transparent. I think that one thing I pride myself on is my realness. And for one, I smoke too much weed to remember a lie, so I can verify the truth. But we have something in common besides having podcasts and, being in Atlanta and that whole thing. We both be in the kitchen.
We're good.
Yeah. You be cooking. Word on the street is you know what you be doing.
Hey, Daddy in the kitchen.
Call me Daddy in the kitchen. Let's talk about that.
You know what? So it actually started off as a brand to where it was like more so to empower men, real talk, Because my whole concept is, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? Call a man daddy. Because first of all, I don't know a man that don't like to be called daddy. But call a man daddy, give him the respect that he needs, and he'll give you a meal that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a win-win situation.
Okay.
And so it encourages men to actually get in the kitchen by getting the love and respect that they need to really make sure that they feel like a man and you appreciate them. Because I think a lot of the times for men, we get on autopilot. It's like we just go through the motions. And women, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, right? I come over to your house, I'm like, baby, I'm about to wash your car, right? I'm about to do these things for you. And at first you're like, oh my God, look at him. You know what I'm saying? He doing all these things for me. And then, first month is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll come in the house, you over here, like, let me do something for you. You know what I'm saying? You'll reciprocate. Month 2 comes around, it starts to become normalized. Like, you're going to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then month 3, it don't even mean nothing to you.
It's not even noticed.
I don't even care about you washing this car.
What car?
But so, exactly. You know what I'm saying to you? Somebody else is going to do that anyway. And so it's like it gets thrown away. So how do we really put down, put that love back into relationships and to the efforts that men do? And I think one of the things is first you go and a man get in the kitchen. First, it's an amazing thing. You cooking for your family and everything like that. It gives people an opportunity to go and really like express themselves. Because I feel like, even for me, I found passion through cooking, but also it gives you the respect and appreciation you deserve. Like, it makes you want to do it more. Like,
I have a question.
Go.
Is the way to a man's heart really through his stomach?
For a lot of men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what they say in the old days, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever let a man leave out hungry or horny.
Okay.
That's it.
So that's not balls.
Men are easy.
Is it that easy?
It's too easy.
Is it really that easy?
It's that easy.
We gonna see. So besides being in the kitchen, you're also into fitness.
Of course.
Let's talk about that.
So, of course, I got my brand Rad 180. And so, it's a vitamin supplement company. So, of course, I play ball. I'm all about physical fitness because you got to make sure that you're always looking good. You always want to make sure you got your six-pack and you can look sexy in general. And so I'm all about making sure that people live. It's bigger than just looking good, though. At the end of the day, you look good, but at the end of the day, you need to live.
Live.
You know what I'm saying? You need to live and have longevity because, man, you know what I'm saying? Heart disease,
high blood pressure,
diabetes, all that runs with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you make sure that you actually not only just look good, but also have the lifestyle that actually can complement that? So I have Rad 180 to go and do it, man. Make sure y'all check out Rad 180.
Rad 180. And this is supplements is for men and women?
Absolutely.
Everybody can take it?
Everybody can take it. I got gut health solutions, just to make sure if you want to lose weight, if you want to even just get started working out, you got your protein, your glutamine.
So it's a whole line.
Pre-workout. It's a whole line. Pretty much is a whole entire.
We get a message. Give me that.
I got you.
Give me right.
You're already right, girl.
I mean,
but I got you.
I got to maintain it.
Of course.
Keep it right.
I got you.
So my boyfriend is 15 years younger than me. I got to keep him now.
Well, you like young dudes, huh?
Well, it's a new thing, but yeah, my boyfriend is young.
So, he just graduated high school?
No, I'm 45. I'm a old ass lady. I'm a grown ass lady in these streets. And
Let me find out you over here rocking a cradle.
I am rocking it well too.
Oh, word.
Let him say. Let him tell it. So what else we got going on? We got the podcast in the basement. We got Rad 180. We got your music.
Yeah,
Here.
of course. And so I got a lot of stuff. I mean, I got a lot of stuff coming out. You know, I think this is also like kind of the rebirth. A lot of the time, especially being on this show and this platform, really, truly, I have allowed Drew to. It's her platform. It's real house. It's housewives.
Why?
It got nothing to do with me.
I mean, she wouldn't be a wife without a husband.
That's what. A lot of them go and get single. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them get divorced.
So what happens after?
What?
The divorce is finalized.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that journey looks like.
I mean,
they gonna do it.
There are a lot of housewives with no husbands, Kenya. You know,
this show loves a good divorce. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't got nothing to do with it. So for me, myself, I paid my dues. I went and I tried to be as supportive as I possibly could, but although I was a villain, you know what I'm saying? And so now it's really just rebirthing into creating things that actually is meaningful for me, things that I actually care about. And so that's what I'm focused on.
So I want to thank you for coming and joining me and having this pink conversation. And I got a little something for you.
What's that?
Since you kept it a buck.
All right.
We got some Gigi bucks that I want to give you. It's just a little, little momentum, a little.
Look at this right here.
Little thing that I came up with. Little Gigi buck. We're going to make it rain with these one day when we get like some paper ones. But for now.
So where can I use this?
So when you come to V12 and see me behind the bar,
so I got $100 credit. You
got a little special something.
So it's $100.
You got a little special something happening.
We go. Give me a couple of those.
All right, I'm gonna give you 3.
All right, 3. It's $300. Hey, y'all heard it here. I got $300 to spend. I got $300 to spend right here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it rain.
We're gonna make it rain.
Right over at V12.
Period. I appreciate you so much for coming and sitting and having a pink conversation with me. And let the people know where they can find you and everything they need to know. Ralph Pittman.
So y'all can find me at Ralph Pittman Jr. on pretty much all social platforms. You can also go and visit my YouTube at Ralph Pittman TV. So definitely check me out.
And the podcast?
That's the podcast.
Oh, it's on Ralph Pittman TV.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
Ralph Pittman in the basement on YouTube.
No. Just Ralph.
Oh, Ralph in the basement.
Ralph Pittman.
Ralph in the basement is the name of the podcast, though, right?
No, it's not. Well, the name of the podcast. So the name of the podcast is Ralph in the Basement.
I thought.
So the podcast name is Ralph in the Basement, but you can find me. My handle is Ralph Pittman TV.
Got it. Anything else we want to wrap with? Let's end on a high note. Give me some positivity for the people.
All right. So let me tell y'all something. One of the things that y'all always want to make sure of is to keep y'all minds right, because at the end of the day, this world and what you manifest is all about the mindset. And so if you want something, I don't care what it is, it's all about how you think. And so if you think it and you vibrate at that level, you can manifest it. If you're not, you're going to manifest anything that you don't want. So let me tell you, speak everything that you want into existence, or you're going to accomplish nothing.
I love that. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm a master manifester myself. So
that's what I'm talking about.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining me on my pink couch.
There's a lot of pink here.
I showed you the set and you were like, it's so.
Yeah. You know what? So my whole thing is, let me tell you, I wear black and white now a lot, just because it's like, yo, this is it, I just want to be just black and white, because I don't think it's...
That's your vibe.
That's your vibe. That's my energy, you know what I'm saying? And I especially coming here on this pink couch.
I feel it. I feel the vibes. I appreciate you. You were like, that set is so feminine.
It is.
What did I say? Bring me some masculine energy to my face. You did. I appreciate you. Let's look, I got another shot.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Taking this whole thing?
You see that?
It is. It's a cost for good.
I smacked you, David. I see you, girl. I appreciate you like a cat.
Let's
slide in there.
Cheers. Hey, you ain't looking in my eye. Come on, cut it out.
Because I ain't having no bad sex.
All right. Hope not.
Now that I'm having sex. I made my boyfriend wait 9 months.
No, you didn't.
I did. Well, we waited together 9 months. We did not have sex until last week for the first time. I swear.
Cat.
I swear. Handsome. Everybody here knows. I'll talk about it.
First and foremost, if I was your man, I would feel slighted, yo. I'd be like, yo,
it was
disrespectful.
It was a mutual decision.
Disrespectful.
It was a mutual decision.
Gigi.
Cheers.
Shit.
It was a mutual.
You couldn't tell me stories like, I gave it to this dude on the first night. I'm gonna make you wait for 9 months. That's wild.
It's been Pink Conversations. Thanks for tuning in. Ralph Pittman. Thank you.
No doubt.